Would you help me thank our social media all-stars? We love them so much. We are so grateful for the support that they give. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares. You know it's making a difference because you see more people here every Sunday. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And a special shout out to our newest board member, Angela Adley, for support with choosing the clip that you are seeing on our social media channels. Are you ready to make UPCHURCH your spiritual home? Then I want to extend an invitation to you to join us on Saturday, July 31st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. online for a special new member orientation. Here's a place where you can ask all the questions you have about who we are, what we do, what we teach, how we support you spiritually, how you support us, and anything in between. There's no question that's off limits. And if you decide to move forward and become a member, then we will hold a special spiritual baptism in your honor on Sunday, August 1st, immediately following the Sunday service. So go ahead and reach out to the church office and complete a membership application. Have you marked your calendars for Saturday, August 7th? What'd you say is Saturday, August 7th? Well, everybody knows it's the UPCHURCH Family Reunion Party in the Park. Come party with us. Listen, food is being provided, extreme fun is being planned, and this is the best part. It is both virtual and in person. I know some of you don't live in LA. That's okay, we got you. Some of you don't want to come out of your house in LA. Don't worry, we got you too. However you want to party with us, you can party in the park, whether it is virtual or in person. And so I want you to be there. It is noon to 4 on Saturday, August 7th. Now, what I need you to do right now is let us know that you're participating so that we can have enough supplies for you. So make sure you RSVP. Use the link down below. And on the form, if you are interested in volunteering in a way, maybe you want to be on the setup crew, or maybe you want to be on the cleanup crew, let us know and we will get you dialed in to helping out with the picnic if that's where your heart is. But more than anything, come prepared to have so much fun. You can reach us at the church office, 310-412-7729, or you can email us upchurch@upchurch.org. Cannot wait to see you there.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare us to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving we'll be a living sanctuary
That was my prayer partner there, the incomparable Kim Yarbrough, singing, being the lead vocals for Sanctuary. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. You guys have gotten such an amazing treat this entire month, just letting us share with you some of the juicy gems that we found in our archives. And let me tell you, our archives are deep. We had so much stuff that we had to just say no to because there wasn't room to share it inside of the service. So I hope that you have enjoyed this month-long celebration. I'm Reverend Sherri James, and I'm the senior minister of this growing global community. And I am so excited that you are here with us today. You really could have been anywhere, but you chose to be a part of what we're doing today. And I want to celebrate that. I want to honor that and tell you we're so glad that you are here. Now, a couple of housekeeping things. The way that the word gets out about us is that people hit that like button. So if you are on YouTube, hit the like button, make sure you leave us a comment, and make sure you share the video. And the same thing, if you're on Facebook, make sure that you like our Facebook page and like the video and set yourself up to receive notifications. And of course, hit that share button. All of those things make an enormous difference. All right, we are winding down a month-long celebration. Every July is UPCHURCH month, and we celebrate the founding of the church. We celebrate Reverend Della's birthday, which was July 6th. And in keeping with how she handled her own life, we celebrate the entire month because we're so excited. We turned 35 years old this year. Isn't that amazing? Do you remember what 35 felt like? Wasn't it good? That was a good year. So I'm excited that you are here. Let's take a moment to open this service in prayer. Would you pray with me? Father, Mother God, we thank you for a powerful, transformational worship experience. We thank you that the Spirit serves, travels, does a perfect work, even in the archives. That this message of divine oneness, of the divinity of humankind, this message travels from where we are out across the planet and changes people at their core. I thank you that there may be those who are hurting, who are just grieving today, and that something that they see in this service is going to support them and let them know that they can make it, that they don't have to give up. I thank you, God, for the privilege of serving people in this way. I bless everything that went into putting today's service together, and I ask that it lift up the presence of you in the people who view it, and that lifted presence then touches everyone in their sphere of influence. We are gathered together to do something so special. We are gathered together to remind the world that they are God in expression, and that they must walk that way and talk that way and carry themselves as befitting a child of the King. I thank you, God. I know you hear me when I pray. And so I relax and I allow this prayer to be so. And so it is. And amen. 35 years. 35 years of amazing music. 35 years of powerful sermons. 35 years of living the principles of the omnipresence of God, of the divinity of humankind, of the value and the power of thought, of practicing the presence of God, of the law of demonstration. 35 years of walking with an understanding that we are God in expression. You are a part of something so special. And I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad because I know this message is changing you at your core, and that's why you keep coming back. And I celebrate the presence and the power of God in you. You see, our vision is to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. We are on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is Open Your Mind. In order to be, do, and have what the Spirit has for us, we have got to open our minds. And so everything that we have done this year has been about supporting that in you, helping you learn to receive, exposing you to archives so that you can see our roots and see where this message comes from, and just reminding you that you have it in you to be all that God has put on your heart. There's no dream too big for God to express through you, and there's no dream too small for God to get involved in the minute details. Everything is available to you. So I'm going to move now. Instead of moving to our meditation, I've got a special announcement that I want to share with you. I want to share with you the results of the vote that we took at our annual meeting. Family, I am here with a very special announcement. On June 13th, we held our annual meeting virtually. It was very well attended. In that meeting, we put forward for a vote a few things. These were options for our next steps as a spiritual community. So here were the options. Option number 1 was to stay virtual and to add a monthly option. We can sever ties with First Lutheran, keep our virtual service, and add a monthly in-person experience that would allow us the fellowship that many of us really want to have. The second option was to stay with the conditions as they are, go back to First Lutheran, but make this 6 months our last 6 months with First Lutheran. And the third option was to keep things as they are, don't make a change, go back to First Lutheran, and maybe make a long-term plan for leaving. You voted overwhelmingly for option number 1, which is to stay virtual and to add a monthly option. 74% of the votes were for this option. You voted to sever ties with First Lutheran, to keep our virtual service, and to add a monthly in-person option for fellowship. And all of this is while we look for our forever home. And we heard you. So we are forging ahead with the plan that you voted for. In the coming weeks, we're going to have more details and a timeline for that move. If you would like to be a part of the team that helps us locate our new building and facilitate this move, please reach out to me directly at 310-412-7729, or you can email my assistant, Campbell, at aaron@upchurch.org. In the meantime, we're going to be reaching out to you about these monthly in-person events. Next week's Party in the Park is the first of these kinds of gatherings. Listen, when they tell the story of UPCHURCH in the history books, they will say that it is in their 35th year that they stepped out on faith and stepped into their destiny. I am so grateful to be a part of making history with this incredible ministry. And I am so glad that you are a part of this faith journey with me. And I can't wait to see what God does through us, because we are moving boldly forward and claiming what is rightfully ours. Let's go get it.
Good afternoon, good day, UPCHURCH family and friends. I'm Reverend Sherri Thompson, and it is such a pleasure to be here serving, worshiping with you today. It is such a beautiful day. We have been celebrating our anniversary, our 35th anniversary for the entire month. 35 years of love, of learning and practicing spiritual principles for better living. I'm so grateful for UPCHURCH, for all that has been poured into me. It'd be difficult, near impossible to separate these lessons from me. They have been so intricately woven into the way that I move in the world. I want to thank you for your yes to UPCHURCH, whether it is a yes that has been resounding over 35 years, or maybe you're a newer member. Maybe these are your first few years of UPCHURCH. I just want to know, I want you to know that you're a part of a powerful legacy. And if you clicked in here for the first time, if this is your first part, I want you to know that your very presence shifts the dynamic of this organization, that we are expanding because you are here. And so I just want to say that I appreciate you for finding us. And I know that you're going to hear something today. You know, we've been playing classics. So you're going to hear something today that is going to be exactly what you needed to hear today, even though it was recorded years and years and years ago. I'm confident in that. Please open up your heart and mind and get ready to receive your bounty. So we want to make sure that you know that UPCHURCH, the doors of this church are always open. If you have been a repeat visitor and you're thinking, you know, I want to make a commitment to the ministry. I would like to grow spiritually here with a higher level of intention. I want you to consider joining UPCHURCH. If you just clicked in here one time and it just felt like home, I want you to consider joining UPCHURCH. All that you need to do is take the first step and let us know you're interested. We have an orientation for membership coming up. I believe it is this coming Saturday. So this upcoming Saturday, there is an orientation. It'll be virtual for membership. And then we give you all the details that you need to know. And so we want to make sure we get that Zoom link to you. So be sure to email us at upchurch@upchurch.org or call the office so that we can give you your next step. We can make sure that if you're ready to make that decision and go into our orientation, we will absolutely make space available to you. We have a spiritual baptism that'll be taking place that following day. So for those who join the orientation and make a decision, then our spiritual baptism will happen on that following day. So I'm really excited about this. I know UPCHURCH is on fire. We are consciousness unfolding. We are growing in motion, and we will never be the same as we continue to move forward. So we're shaking off all of that old stuff that may have held us back. So thank you so much for being here. Now, I've invited you into membership. I've let you know that the doors are open to you no matter where you are in the world. So I want you to know who you're worshiping with. So we have, during our live stream, we have people who are live chatting along with us. And so I want to encourage you to introduce yourself to one another using your spiritual name. And if you are not live chatting with us, you're welcome to put those in the comments. You're welcome to speak them out loud. We want to change the entire atmosphere by affirming who we really are spiritually. And so I'm going to go first. All that you do is take I am and you put it next to a quality of God. And so I am strength. What's your spiritual name? I want you to go ahead and share it in the chat. I see you for who you really are. We bless you and who you really are. And we know that whatever you have put your I am next to is right now coming up through you to you into expression. So be bold and be audacious. Declare who you really are. Share what you really want to see more of through yourself in the world. So I want to encourage you to speak your name. I want you to say it, type it, all that you need to do so that you don't ever forget your divinity. This has been a powerful service so far, and we just got more power to come. So coming up next is our daily inspiration. The daily inspiration has been a little different this month because we've been having an illustrated daily inspiration. And so Miss Patty Henley has been pulling together these amazing daily inspirations, and I want you to enjoy the one coming up for today. God bless you.
Lord, it's in you. Oh, Lord, I'm trusting. Lord, it's in you. Oh, Lord, I'm trusting. Lord, it's in you. Lord, I'm trusting in you.
Fearlessly trust God. Are you hesitant to turn your concerns over to God? Are you afraid to say, "Thy will be done, not mine"? Are you afraid God will take care of it, but God's way may not agree with your way or your timetable?
To understand the nature of God is to understand the principle of fearless trust in God. God's nature of absolute good means that God's will for you must align with God's nature. You can trust God to provide the perfect solution that is for your highest good.
Become intimate with God. Get to know God as your confidant or best friend, like that person with whom you share and entrust your deepest secrets and desires. Be excited and expectant of the good that God has in store for you, awaiting your acceptance.
God knows your needs
And has prepared the kingdom for you before you were formed in your mother's womb.
Fearlessly trust God and prosper endlessly.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart.
And do not rely on your own insight.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5.
Thank you so much, Patty, for that amazing illustrated daily inspiration. We have begged Patty to please continue to do these from time to time for us. So just look forward to seeing more and more of these powerful illustrated daily inspirations. It's now time for our affirmation of power. And so this affirmation of power is our last time saying it together this month, but I don't want you to lose track of this. This is an affirmation that Reverend Della would often pass out, and we will have the opportunity to grow in our awareness of God's abundance. It is a metaphysical interpretation of the 23rd Psalm, and we're going to speak it together. Let's begin. The Lord is my banker, my credit is good. He makes me lie down in the consciousness of omnipresent abundance. He gives me the key to his strong box. He restores my faith in his riches. He guides me in the path of prosperity for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk in the very shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your silver and gold, they secure me. You prepare a way for me in the presence of the collector. You fill my wallet with plenty. My measure runs over. Surely goodness and plenty will follow me all the days of my life, and I shall do business in the name of the Lord forever. And so it is. Amen, amen, amen. Today I'm going to work with the idea that my measure runs over. My cup runs over. Sometimes we get complacent and we think that just having enough is the blessing, but your cup can run over. My measure runs over. I have more than enough to spare and to share. I'm going to work with that one this week. I want you to find a statement out of this affirmation and work with it to expand your prosperity consciousness. See, we have learned a lot from Reverend Della, and we want to make sure that we continue to allow those lessons to unfold in our life, world, and affairs. So coming up next is our honoring our roots. And so we've been taking classic footage from our services over the past years and presenting them to you here fresh and new. And so today's honoring our roots is one of those throwbacks. I think that you might recognize the person in this one. I'm calling her Baby Sheree. Enjoy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
I love y'all. I wake up in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, I promise. But I want to say this because I wake up in the morning and I work, so weekends are my time. And that's okay. I'm gonna talk a little bit about conforming to the world because I bought into this weekend thing. But I get up, I get excited. I started getting ready to get here. And I think about the people who come and do, the things that it takes to make this happen every week. I think about the choir rehearsing during the week. I think about our ushers who get here early, and the sound who comes to set everything up, and the band who rehearses and comes ready. And I think that's a dedication, that they come every Sunday, Reverend Della preparing her sermon. It's a lot to go into this. And so I feel responsible to show up and get my praise on, because people have prepared for me to do that, So I'm happy to be here, and I'm blessing all of you for being here. I know that this place, that there's blessing right now, that there is a healing right now in this room, and I'm claiming it for you in your life, for your specific concern. Okay? Thank you. Here at Understanding Principles, our members know this, that we focus on a spiritual idea. We're working on will this month, perfecting the idea of will and expression in our lives. And will is our determining power. It's how we make, it's the power for us to make our decisions. Yes. And I want to ask you this morning, what are you basing your decisions on? Mm-hmm. There's a scripture. I'll read 3 versions of it because I like how each of them says it a little differently. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Another version. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. And another, this is the one probably ring bell in your soul a little bit, King James Version. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And so again, I say, what are you basing your decisions on? If your goal is to live in God's will, and you're basing your decisions on the world, you might get there. You might, because the world is made up of everything. It's made up of our divine ideas. It's made up of our wishes and hopes. It's made up of truth and lies. And so it's like a gamble. Yeah. You can base your decisions on what you see, and gamble. Maybe the result is good, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not, and you see people doing that. You see people basing their decisions on the world, and so that's what's in the world: other people's opinions, other people's experiences, your past experiences. All of that lives in the world. And if you continue to base your decisions on past experiences, even the good ones, because the good ones were good for when they were good. If you are basing your decisions on other people's opinions, I don't know when I completely realized that a lot of my decisions were based on what I thought my mom wanted for me. I don't, any of them. That I was somehow weaving what I even thought. I don't even know if they exactly wanted that for me, but what I thought they wanted for me, that's what I based my decisions on what I studied, on what I wanted to be, on how I practiced, experienced my faith, was all based on other people's opinions. And I felt condemned by that because I wanted to be transformed. And so if there's something going on with you that you're feeling a little jailed with, that you feel like you're in prison in your mind, then you know that you're basing your decisions and your thinking on the wrong thing. On the wrong thing. You have to practice the presence of the Spirit of God. You have to start listening and trying it out, because sometimes mama's opinion is so strong that you have mistaken it for the still small voice. So you have to watch it. Try it out a little bit, because generally the still small voice is not going to say, you need to. So that's a little hint if you're confused. But so Jesus taught in parables, and I was going to really try to do that today. I have a parable. Have any of you seen The Matrix? Yeah. The Matrix is so deep. I couldn't condense it down so that they wouldn't, come sit me down. But see the Matrix, it's a really great example of conforming to the world and freeing your mind. That idea, that movie really illustrates that truth, that you can free your mind from the prison that we've created for ourselves. Because we choose to base our decisions on the world. We choose to confine our dreams to what we can see, which is only a manifestation of what was. Like what we thought and felt before, manifested, and this is what then we base our decisions on that. Well, what if you made a mistake here? What if you based your initial thoughts and feelings on something that wasn't the truth? And so it manifests, and then you judge that and say, okay, now based on that, I'm gonna make some new decisions. And so you continue a cycle of sorrow, of not fulfilling your dreams, of being just not fulfilled, not living in the will of God. And you can stop that right now by first listening, determining that this, God, speak to me. I want to hear you. And then do something after you hear that. Because you got to prove it. Remember, we're proving? Yes. We are proving it. So that's how you get to see if this is true. The truth will prove itself and be perfect in your life.
That's right.
And so that we are in one accord, I will say our opening statement, and then if you could repeat after me, that would be wonderful. I am one with God. I am one with all men. I am one with all life. I am one with the one. Together, please. I am one with God. I am one with all men. I am one with all life. I am one with the one. And so it is.
Did y'all love that clip of baby Sheree? Oh my goodness. It was so delightful. It was so delightful looking back at these archives. Family, this next segment, I thought was one of the best ways to close Up Church Month. It starts with a beautiful, beautiful rendition of Everything Must Change. And what a perfect song, because we're in the midst of our own change as a spiritual community as we move from where we are and begin that journey into our greater tomorrow. Everything must change. And then Reverend Della's sermon is talking about praying according to the will of God. One of the things that I'm definitely clear on is that this step that we are taking to move out from where we've been located and to forge ahead to find our new home and all of the steps that God will take us through in between, that it is really going to require us as a community to pray and move according to the will of God. But it is my belief that we will come to the conclusion that Reverend Della wraps up with in this sermon, which is that God is so wonderful. God is everything that we could ever need. God is everything that we could ever hope for. And so I just want to tell you, get your notepad, because this definitely has application for us collectively as a spiritual community as we make this next step. But it also has value for you individually for the steps that you're taking in your life. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Karen and then Reverend Della.
Every morning we sing Ain't No Stopping Us Now because we are on the move. We are a church in transition. But God knows what we need, how much of it we need, when we need it. And God is the only thing that has changed less.
That's right.
God is the only thing that doesn't change.
That's right.
But everything else must change.
That's right.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one changed. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. For that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure. Except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal. But never much too soon. Yes, everything must change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. For that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life you can be sure. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and those hummingbirds, they fly. 'cause everything must change.
Just absolutely wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? That was good. I like that. Have this for you this morning. A 92-year-old, petite, well-poised, and proud man who is fully dressed each morning by 8 o'clock with his hair fashionably coiffured and shaved perfectly, and even though he is legally blind, moved to a nursing home today. His wife of 70 years recently passed away, making the move necessary. After many hours of waiting patiently in the lobby of the nursing home, he smiled sweetly when told his room was ready. As he maneuvered his walker to the elevator, I provided a visual description of his tiny room, including the eyelet sheets that had been hung on his window. "I love it," he stated with the enthusiasm of an 8-year-old having just been presented with a new puppy. "But Mr. Jones, you haven't seen the room." "Just wait. That doesn't have anything to do with it," he replied. "Happiness is something you decide on ahead of time. Whether I like my room or not doesn't depend on how the furniture is arranged. It's how I arrange my mind. I already decided to love it. It's a decision I make every morning when I wake up. I have a choice. I can spend the day in bed recounting the difficulties I had with the parts of my body that no longer work, or get out of the bed and be thankful for the ones that do. Each day is a gift, and as long as my eyes open, I'll focus on the new day and all the happy memories I've stored away just for this time in my life. Old age is like a bank account. You withdraw from what you've put in. So my advice to you would be to deposit a lot of happiness in the bank account of memories. Thanks for your part in filling my memory bank. I am still depositing. Remember the 5 simple rules to be happy. Free your heart from hatred. Free your mind from worries. Live simply. Give more and expect less. Isn't that good? That's good. Don't make no difference how I look. I already know it's wonderful. I'm going to be in there. It's going to be wonderful. I'm bringing wonderful in there. When I get there, I bring wonderful in there. I don't know what you bring in, but I bring in wonderful. This man evidently too. This morning, I want to talk to you about prayer, about praying according to the will of God. You see, according to the will of God. It is not the will of God that I pray that you run off a cliff. He's not going to help me with that because you are God's child just like I am, and he don't think no more of me than he thinks of you. You see, what I'm probably doing is making arrangements for me to run off a cliff. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of God our Savior, who will have all men to be saved and to come unto the knowledge of this truth. For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, and the man Christ Jesus. This is Timothy 2, 3, 4, second chapter, 3rd, 4th, and 5th verse. This is Ephesians 6 and 6. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart. Oh, it got quiet. Didn't it get quiet? Well, I've been praying. Well, we're going to look into that this morning. I don't say you haven't been praying. but evidently you haven't been praying. If it hasn't been answered to your benefit, you haven't been praying according to the will of God. With goodwill, doing service to the Lord and not to men, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man does, the same he shall receive of the Lord. You must didn't hear it. Knowing that whatsoever good things any man does, any woman also, the same shall he or she receive of the Lord. I tell you all the time, I'm selfish. I do all this for you because I require a lot of stuff being done for me. You're laughing, I'm so serious. It's God's will. You see, you can dictate your life. You can control your life. You can receive in your life whatever you want that's for your highest good. Luke, the 12th chapter, 22nd, then the 31st and 32nd verse. And he said to his disciples, Jesus talking, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for your body what you shall put on. In other words, don't worry about it. Worry is not God's will for you. You decide to do that. All Jesus ever talked about was peace of mind, joy, happiness. I never hear him. I've read it over and over, this book, this Bible. I see no place God or Jesus or any of the disciples or any of the prophets said worry. It ain't in there. It ain't in there. Did you ever see it? Did you ever see it? It's not it, because it's not in there. That's why you didn't see it. Worry is not what God. You decide to do that. Life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses or barns, and God feeds them. How much more are you better than the fowl? And which of you, this is the part I like, and which of you with taking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit? If he could, don't you think Kobe would be 9'7"? Don't you think he's out there every day? It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. If then be not able to do that thing which is least, why take ye thought for the rest? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And when you pray, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing on the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. They got the praise of the people standing around looking at them. That's it. Not sufficient for me. If that's enough for you, then you do what you have to do. It's not enough for me. I need more than that. I need much more than your praise. I've had praise up and down the yin yang. So I know praise and enough money will get you what you have to buy. You see, praise of God is the only praise that comes back with a benefit for you. All the rest of this praise is some folk ain't got much to say and want to talk. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. But when you pray, enter into the closet, and when you shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which sees in secret shall reward you openly. So it's all about prayer this morning, the kinds of prayer. But more important, the how-to directions given in the contract in the Bible. In John 14:14, it says, if ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. In John 15:7, it says, if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. Herein is my Father glorified. If you ain't doing nothing, you're not glorifying God. If you're not getting the ends to meet and lap over and curl under, you're not glorifying God. If you're not trying to give all you can every day, you are not glorifying God, and you are not praying according to God. See, prayer is more than some words. Prayer and love is more than some words. It's a feeling. And love is not something you just say. Love is something you do. You see, get out of my face telling me you love me and you can't scratch my back. I don't want to know. John 5:11 says, these things I have spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. So here's Jesus on the way to the cross, worrying about you, Miss Holiday, having joy, and your joy, not just having some, but that your joy be full. You weren't even here yet. You weren't even here yet. You weren't here yet. I wasn't here yet. And back there then, he was concerned that our joy is full. I'm telling you to do all these things. And the reason I'm telling you to do all these things is so that your joy will be full, not just a little bit. You're not properly impressed. John 16:24. Hitherto you have asked nothing in my name. Ask, and you shall receive, that your joy may be full. That your joy may be full. That your, These scriptures are Jesus telling us how and why we should ask or pray or communicate with God, so that our joy may be full. Now, there's a lot of kind of prayers, and next week I'll take you through those. But I want to talk to you this morning about silent prayer. Silent prayer is more effective than audible prayer. The reason being, through silent prayer, the mind comes into a closer touch with the creative spirit. You're not running your mouth. The creative spirit is God. And when you're praying silently, you're releasing the Christ that's inside of you. And that Christ inside of you begins to work. So you don't have to say anything, because he's already told you before you open your mouth, he's answering you. So it's not required that you, and they've led us, all of us, astray. Some people don't pray because they don't think they know the right words. You see, some people don't know what Rose of Sharon is. And it's wonderful, but it won't heal you. Bright and morning star, wonderful, won't save you. You see, you need to get inside and let the Christ that's inside of you commune with the infinite spirit of God that's all around you, and bring from that infinite spirit to you what it is you're asking for. But you get to talking and see, you're so rude. Now, Father, I need the rent paid, and I need the car note paid, and I need that monkey off my back that's at work, and I don't want no more trouble, amen. I wouldn't answer you if you talked to me like that. And I ain't even God by myself. You don't have time to listen. You don't spend any time with God. When you love somebody, Franklin can't get rid of me. Sometimes I have to say to myself, let the man breathe, Dell. Let him have one breath, Dell, please, Dell. Go back upstairs, Dell. Let the man have a minute at his death, Dell. I don't want to be upstairs and he downstairs. If he downstairs, ain't nothing I can do in Franklin's office, understand me? He has everything the way he wants to do it. He does it all himself. So I have a chair that sits across the desk, and I can just sit there and look at him. And every once in a while, he looks up, and I can ask a question. You hungry? No, I'm not hungry. Would you like a cup of coffee? Do you need anything? Then, did you know I loved you? Uh-huh, I knew. Well, I do. I just want you to know I love you. I knew. Honey, please, I'm just trying to, let me finish this right here on this computer, and I'll be with you. Then I recognize, now this man trying to work to make you a living. Get up out of this chair, and all of this house you got, go find another part of it to be in. When you're in silent prayer, you have spiritual power, because all of the power in silent prayer is the Christ inside you and the infinite Spirit of God all around you and through you. You see, prayer is action of your mind accelerated. See, when you pray, when you silently sit there and spend time with God, ideas start coming. Acceleration. Maybe I could do this. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's why when you pray, you should have a pencil and a piece of paper near. Because sometimes it comes so fast. Yeah, I write songs, and people say, how long did it take you to write that? Sometimes it came so fast I couldn't write it all down. It was coming. It was coming. It had to come out. He wanted that said. It had to be, and it was coming. And I'm writing. Now I got to go back and figure what I wrote because I'm writing so fast. Prayer quickens your ability to produce successful results in your life. Prayer brings the nature of God and his goodness into your life, world, and affairs. Prayer is affirmation in its highest form. And affirmation is to make something firm in your mind and recognize that truth and hold on to that truth. And your prayer is affirmation with feeling and faith. You see, when you pray silently, you will begin to feel your body react to the God inside of you. Now, I can't tell you how because it's different for everybody. Some people just can't stop their leg from moving. Some people rock. Some people cry. But you will feel God if you could just be still for a minute. Prayer does not consist of supplication and flowery words addressed to the deity in the clouds. God's not in the cloud. So if you're praying to God in the cloud, he will never hear you. He's not up there. Just like there is no blue, God is not up there. Genesis said he worked 6 days and the seventh day he rested. Well, where did he rest? Inside of his greatest creation. It doesn't require a series of nicely wrought statements projected from unfeeling lips in the direction of the throne of God in the Deacon Evans, when I was coming up in the Baptist church, Deacon Evans would say, "Here I am again, Lord, calling on your name." Every Sunday morning, we had a devotion before the service. They had a devotion, and Deacon Evans prayed at the devotion. And every morning, Sunday morning, he screamed at God like God was deaf, dumb, and crazy. Not required. It's not required you talk to God like that. In fact, it's better if you don't. All those prayers missed the mark. They just do. True prayer is to claim earnestly and feelingly that the uplifting, healing, strengthening power of infinite healing presence is always available to you, in you, making you whole, perfect, and complete. You see, it's in there. It's in there. Faith finds its appropriate natural manifestation in prayer. This is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him, God. For he that comes to the Lord must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You know, diligent? Not run in for a few minutes. Diligently seek him. Constantly seeking him. Definitely seeking him. Absolutely seeking him. Wanting to be in his presence. Feeling the need to be in his presence. I don't know about you, but some days I come home, I have to get with God right away to save my home life. To save my home life. As soon as I walk in the door, I have to get with God. Because they be done turned me around out there, and I'm never going to drop all that on Franklin. Because he don't treat me that way. You see, and I come in, and I'm ready, ooh, baby. I don't want to even describe it so I don't have to feel it again. You see, and so I have to come in and go in the bathroom. That's the first available private place. See, when I walk in the door, I say, I'm on a mission. Let me get myself together. Don't let me bring this stuff home. I don't need to bring this in my house. I don't need to have this in my body, in my mind, or my being. Give me peace, give me peace, give me peace. Give me the peace to greet my husband the way I should greet him and hold him and let him feel the love. Let Shirley know that I love her. And I'm not mad at anybody in here. And Father, keep me from being mad at anybody out there. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Daddy. How you doing? You good? Now, I know in the street they don't bother you, so you don't have to do that. I know everybody in the street treats you wonderfully, so you don't have to do that. But that's what I do. James 5:16. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man, woman, availeth much. Right thinking followed by right action is righteousness. So if you will have this effectual, fervent prayer, it will change the way you're thinking, as I tried to describe to you over there. You see, it'll change the way you're thinking, and you'll step into righteousness, as I tried to show you over here. You have to work with it. You have to pray so fervently that it affects you. You see, you have to pray for in you, through you, to you. In you, through you, to you. You have to pray in you because God is in there. Through you from all the stuff you're going through that you want to get rid of. To you, that it's all going to be all right. Okay, I'll move on. There are the prayers of form and ritual and the prayers of faith and love. Millions of people all over the world pray because it's a duty, part of the religious life and that you're trying to express. Might as well go on to bed. She made me get down there every night, my mother, and pray. And what I was doing was repeating the words she was saying. They meant nothing to me. But in order to have the Pepsi-Cola bottle full of milk and cookies, I had to say my prayers. And so, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Amen. I don't know what you're laughing about. You pray the same way now. Don't be laughing like I'm the only one, because I ain't the only one. You see, you can't pray from a sense of duty. It's not a task that's being imposed upon you. The prayer of faith and love are not a task or a duty, but a spiritual necessity. You're praying so that you can communicate with God. That's a spiritual necessity in order to grow and expand and express your health, your happiness, your abundance, and your peace. With the help of the Christ inside of you, you get it to take charge of your life and run your life effectively. See, the prayer is the path of power. Prayer is the practice of inner renewal and refreshment. I defy you to have any kind of a problem and take time for a spiritual prayer and get up and say that the problem still matters to you. Try it. Try it. I don't know if anybody has ever failed. Now, you may be the one. At least try it and see. Prayer is the path of power. In prayer, we conduct for ourselves the search for closed doors keeping our good from us. You see, in your subconscious mind is all that junk that you've learned through all the years. And I give this example. You're 3 years old. You're crawling on the floor in the kitchen. Your aunt, who gives you candy all the time and pats you on the belly and tells you that you're pretty. And your mother, who comes whenever you call and puts you to bed at night and wakes you up in the morning and feeds you all during the day, are talking. And your aunt says, all men are dogs. You don't know men, you don't know dogs. But your aunt, who gives you candy all the time, said, she's an important lady. And she says, all men are dogs. So in here somewhere in your subconscious mind, you slap, all men are dogs. And you crawl over here and your mother said, yeah, honey, that's the truth. So I've never met one that wasn't trying to cheat you. You don't know cheat. But your mama said that. So in your subconscious mind goes cheat. So now you have in here, men are dogs that cheat. So now you're 30 years old, you meet this fox. Woo, baby. And he just can't keep his hands, his eyes, his nothing off of you. And he just thinks you so wonderful. He just loves you so much. And you talking to your girlfriend, you say, I don't know. He act like he really liked me, but I don't know, it's something, I don't know what it is, but something just won't let me trust him. Never been there before. You lie. It's something. Well, what did he do to make you know? Well, Doc, he didn't really do nothing. I just have this feeling that something that's your mama and your aunt when you were 3 years old crawling on the floor, still blocking the love that you want from your life. You see, so you've got to clean that out. It's prayer that opens up the doors and lets that junk flow out. It comes out through your praying, through your saying to the Father, I want to be clean, I want to be pure. Prayer removes the lack of God in mind and in your heart, and it puts in more awareness of God and His perfect will for our lives of good. Don't ask expecting God to hand you the things you want. The sky is never going to unzip, and out of the sky, He's going to hand you what you want. It would be redundant to do that because He has already given you everything you need to get everything you want when you want it, as much of it as you want, to keep as long as you want to. So asking Him to give it to you is ridiculous. Then you look, well, it ain't unzipping. It ain't coming down, and I've been praying, Dell. I've been praying, and ain't nothing coming. You open the door. You pray, and that problem that you're thinking about, suddenly God will start to rationalize with you. Why does he have to do this? You don't have enough money to buy him. A lot of ladies like him. He don't have to settle for you. He's not deformed or nothing. And all the stupid stuff will come up, and it'll be so clear before you. Nobody in here knows what I'm talking about. Huh? It'll be so clear, it's like a movie in front of you. And it'll give you the chance to say, now that's stupid. I'm not thinking that no more. Get out of my mind. So that the next time you see him, you're able to look at him from a different point of view, because your mama and your aunt are gone. Realize and see the real with your your spiritual eyes, that God has already made provisions in the very nature of things for every need that you have to be fulfilled. Realizing this, go about your work in perfect confidence that the law of support and supply will be fulfilled and that you will demonstrate. Christ Jesus promised that you would. Prayer is the language of spirituality and improves the quality of your being. Prayer makes you master in the realm of creative ideas. There are some things you must do for effective prayer. I'm going to give you a list of them. And if you would like to have a list of them, Beverly, is she teaching? This is Beverly. Come here, Beverly. If you would like to have a list of these things, this is Beverly. And you will give her your name after the service. And I will give her these things, and she will print them up for you. And next Sunday, when you come, she will have them for you. But she will only have those for the people whose names she has. So don't mess with Debbie. You understand what I'm saying to you? If your name is not on the list, Debbie don't have nothing for you. And I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm advising you. Don't do nothing silly. Thank you, darling. You must, I know and feel that harmony, beauty, and the life of God manifests itself in me as peace. I know, I feel the harmony, the beauty, and the life of God manifests itself in me as peace, as vitality, as wholeness, as perfection. I don't think that. I don't hope that. I know that. I know it so well that I feel it. When I talk about it, I feel it. I feel that the harmony and the beauty and the life of God manifests itself in me in peace and vitality and wholeness and perfection. You see, when I get a clear realization of this, really clear, whatever the condition that I'm in, it will dissolve. In the light of God's love, it will dissolve. I don't think this. I don't hope this. I don't wish this. I know this. I know that whatever I'm going through, if I get close enough to God, no idiot, fool, dum-dum wants to be in a fight with God. And if I get close enough to God, whatever it is going to back on up, dissolve, and get out of the way in the light of God's love. I have to make sure that my mental picture agrees with my affirmation. You see, if I'm affirming for a new car, a new coat, I affirm for a full-length sable coat. See, now I couldn't say, I live in California, you never really need a fur coat in California. Because that doesn't match my picture. My picture is I want a full-length sable coat. I'm going to look funny in the sun shining all day long in my coat. Everybody else got on a bikini. That's not a part of my picture. I had to understand, you don't buy this $100,000 coat because you cold. You can get you a good cashmere coat, keep you so warm you won't believe it. But for $100,000, you buy it because it's wonderful and you like to be involved in it. That's how come. Ain't got nothing to do with being warm. So you got to make sure your mental picture agrees with your affirmation. And in your mind's eye, you have to see yourself radiant, happy, with power, dominion, and mastery, and God's authority to use your prayer power. Nobody can give you that. I can't teach you that. No teacher here can teach you that. You have to do that for you. You have to see you, not the way you've been seeing you as po me. You have to see you as radiant, happy, with power, dominion, mastery, and God's authority to use that energy. True prayer is claiming that what is true of God is true of God, even in this seeming mess, even in this confusion, even in the way that they're treating me so ridiculously. I don't need to bother with anything but getting in here and getting to the God inside of me. And I used to get so upset people say things. I don't care what you say. Well, I have never seen any of your names on the check that pays my house note. Huh? When I went to get that Lincoln out there, nobody came and said, here's a couple file. That's it. Huh? You didn't do it, baby. No. The whole $35,000 came out of my pocket. So I don't care what you say. Say whatever you want to say. I don't have to listen to what you say because I have the ability to do this. You stand in a mud puddle longer than you have to stand there. You know when somebody's about to go off. You can make an exit. You know, this fool's about to go off. Look, I got to run. I'm going to talk to you later. James 5:15. The prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. If he has committed sins, they shall be forgiven. But verily God hath heard me, he hath attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, which has not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me. The Psalms. David, I love David. David was so wonderful. David found God very early. And David knew the real saving power was God. Not his fighting ability. He was a very good general. Not any of that, but the power of God. And David would get in a fight with the biggest army in the universe at the time. And the army would be crushing David and all of his. David said, fight right here for a minute. Lord, you my shepherd, I shall not want. This is the 66th Psalm, the 18th and the 20th verse. Verily I say unto you that he that believes on me, the works that I shall do, he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go to my Father. That was said by Jesus, that's not from the Psalms. I have the wrong thing there. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. John 5:14 and 15. And this, I love this, this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petition that we desire of him. Do you have that confidence? You say, yeah. I'm going to give you another chance. And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we desire of him. We know that Christ is going to God, putting in the petition for us. We have confidence. I know he will. I know he'll do that for me. I know he loves me that much. I know he wants me to succeed. I know he wants me to be comfortable. I know he wants me to be warm and loving and tender and giving. 1 John 5:20. And we know that the Son of God is come and has given us an understanding, that we may know him that is true. And we are in him that is true, even his Son, Jesus Christ. This is the true God and eternal life. We have everything we need to do everything that we need to do. Whatever you want, no matter what it is, you have time to do it. You have the power to do it. You have all the things that you need to do it. You have the erasers that you need for your subconscious mind to clean it out so that you can have the things that you want. In your bulletin this morning, there is a prayer. I ask that we all take this prayer together now, and that we take it every day this week until we come together again. It's on a single sheet like this. Do you see it? All right. Together. Because I know you love me, Father, and because I know you have blessed me in ways I know of and in ways I have yet to have the pleasure of knowing, I come to give you praise and my thanks for taking care of my needs and desires. Then just be quiet. Say this, then just be quiet. Give yourself the time to be quiet. Give yourself the time to understand that God is wonderful. And he wants so much to do the things for you that will let you know that he is wonderful and that he loves you. This is my testimony. I was laying in a hospital corridor in London, Ontario, and they were about to operate on my brain. I had an aneurysm to rupture, and it had been ruptured for 2 weeks, and nobody had done anything. And finally, they sent me to London, Ontario, because it was a 5-hour flight, and the only other man that could handle it was in Sweden or Switzerland, 14 hours away. And they put me on this gurney, and they started to roll me into this room. Franklin was there, my baby Dumpsy was there, my son James was there. And they were looking in the window smiling, but they couldn't go any further. It was sterile in there. But God went in with me. That was in 1979. They said I would have been dead before I hit the floor. When I didn't die, they said I'd be blind, crippled, or crazy. I see you as good as you see me. I'm not crippled, and I'm no crazier than I was when they took me in there. God is so wonderful to me. God is so wonderful to me. Can't you see? He's everything I have hoped for. He's everything that I need. God is so wonderful to me. Such joy and happiness He brings. Joy, great joy and happiness. Oh yeah, that's what He brings. And He brings it as if it were in a dream. He's my shining star in the night. I can count on Him. He'll change the darkness into a bright and shiny light. God, He's wonderful to me. Such joy, thank you, ma'am, and happiness He brings. I'm a witness that great joy, joy and happiness, that's what He brings. And He brings it as if it were in a dream. He's my shining star in the night. And I can count on Him to change the darkness into a bright and shining light. God is so wonderful. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. God is so wonderful. God is so wonderful. My God is.
All right, family. Now is the time to set the law of giving and receiving into action for yourself. support Understanding Principles. You can text the word UPCHURCH to 73256 to complete your gift. You can use Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UPCHURCHLA. You can also go to our website, upchurch.org. Choose the button Give Online. And finally, the mail still works. You can mail your gift to Understanding Principles, 600 West Queen Street, Inglewood, California, 90301. Bless our offerings. Read along with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's add a declaration with that. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive lavishly. My Father, Mother, God supplies all my needs. I am divinely supplied. All right, family. Thank you so much for your support. Let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close this out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Have you marked your calendars for Saturday, August 7th? What'd you say is Saturday, August 7th? Well, everybody knows it's the UPCHURCH Family Reunion Party in the Park. Come party with us. Listen, food is being provided, extreme fun is being planned, and this is the best part. It is both virtual and in person. I know some of you don't live in LA. That's okay, we got you. Some of you don't want to come out of your house in LA. Don't worry, we got you too. However you want to party with us, you can party in the park, whether it is virtual or in person. And so I want you to be there. It is noon to 4 on Saturday, August 7th. Now, what I need you to do right now is let us know that you're participating so that we can have enough supplies for you. So make sure you RSVP. Use the link down below. And on the form, if you are interested in volunteering in a way, maybe you want to be on the setup crew, or maybe you want to be on the cleanup crew, let us know and we will get you dialed in to helping out with the picnic if that's where your heart is. But more than anything, come prepared to have so much fun. You can reach us at the church office, 310-412-7729, or you can email us upchurch@upchurch.org. Cannot wait to see you there. Are you ready to make UPCHURCH your spiritual home? Then I want to extend an invitation to you to join us on Saturday, July 31st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. online for a special new member orientation. Here's a place where you can ask all the questions you have about who we are, what we do, what we teach, how we support you spiritually, how you support us, and anything in between. There's no question that's off limits. And if you decide to move forward and become a member, then we will hold a special spiritual baptism in your honor on Sunday, August 1st, immediately following the Sunday service. So go ahead and reach out to the church office and complete a membership application. Would you help me thank our social media all-stars? We love them so much. We are so grateful for the support that they give. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares. You know it's making a difference because you see more people here every Sunday. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And a special shout out to our newest board member, Angela Adley, for support with choosing the clip that you are seeing on our social media channels. Feel so full. What an incredible month of celebration this has been. What an incredible time we have had celebrating UPCHURCH, celebrating 35 years of excellence, celebrating 35 years of amazing sermons, of amazing music, of amazing fun together. I am so moved by where we have been and what we have overcome. I'm so thrilled to know, to understand the value and the power of our roots, but I am exhilarated for our next steps, for where God is taking us. And I know that we are the creators of our own experience, and we will be given all of the advantages of the resources of God in order to accomplish it. And I know that we are putting the boat in the water right where we are. And that stream is flowing downstream toward everything that we have become. I hope you get that the moment that we dream it, the God in us rushes forward to become it, to become the vibrational equivalent of it. And so it's only a matter of the rest of us catching up with it. I can feel the eternalness of who we really are. And I can appreciate who we are in these human forms where we stand right now at the leading edge of humanity. And we are ready to step into the next steps. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen, go back a few minutes in the service where I announced the results of the vote for my annual meeting. Make sure you listen to that because there's some things there for you to do to get involved and be a part of it. But I just wanted to stop by before we close out to just say thank you for being a part of this incredible month of celebration. I want to invite you to our after party. Let's have one last joyous celebration of UPCHURCH month. And then we will move forward into the next dimension together. All right, Reverend Della, take it away.
I'm a witness that great joy and happiness. That's what he brings. And he brings it as if it were in a dream. He's my shining star in the night. And I can count on him to change the darkness into a bright and shining light. God is so wonderful. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. God is so wonderful. God is so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. My God is so wonderful. I place you lovingly in the hands of this wonderful God, because he has enough love to surround each of us individually. He has enough power to protect each of us individually. And he has that perfect peace that surpasses all human understanding. And he will watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another, praying to be closer, to understand God better, and to live the life that he wants us to. Oh yeah, oh yeah. God is wonderful. Yes, he is, yes, he is, yes, he is. He's a wonderful. I don't know about you, but my God is a wonderful. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is.